Breaking news. Space war could be sparked with China and Russia close to launching weapons for battle. A devastating space war could break out in the near future with Russia and China preparing advanced weapons in preparation for future battles, the head of the U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency has warned. Lieutenant General Robert Ashley, an Army intelligence officer who has served in Afghanistan, Iraq and Sarajevo, made the comments during a speech at the Defense One Technology Summit in Washington. He said countries are developing the ability to interdict satellites both from a ground and space standpoint, adding, "The technology is being developed right now. It is coming in the near future." A report published by the Office of the Director of Intelligence earlier this year described the arsenal being launched by Russia and China as experimental. It said, Russia and China continue to launch experimental satellites that conduct sophisticated on-orbit activities, at least some of which are intended to advance counter-space capabilities. Some technologies with peaceful applications, such as satellite inspection, refueling, and repair, can also be used against adversary spacecraft. The two global superpowers have not confirmed a space warfare program, but previous activity suggests they may have been working on the technology for a while. According to the Daily Mail Online, in September 2014, Russian satellite Olympk was placed in between two Intelsat communications satellites that orbit in synchronization 22,000 miles above the equator. It was just 7 miles away from the U.S. satellite and triggered classified meetings at the Pentagon, with Intelsat General President K. Sears claiming at the time, "This is not normal behavior, and we are concerned." The U.S. has already built and is testing the X-37B orbital test vehicle and is also developing hypersonic missiles to use against objects in orbit, while Boeing's hypersonic X-51A Waverider cruise missile is also currently being developed. Lieutenant General Ashley suggested that as other nations accelerate their expertise in space warfare, the U.S. might have to further develop this technology. He said, "The competition is only going to grow. Look at the National Defense Strategy. There is an acknowledgement that our technological lead is vanishing, so when you get to the war-fighting doctrine you have to account for the resilience you build into the domains, the redundancy. When it's been degraded or denied, how do you fight?" His comments follow those made by U.S. Air Force Chief General David Golden in February, where he said space warfare could begin within a matter of years. He said, "It's time for us as a service, regardless of specialty badge, to embrace space superiority with the same passion and sense of ownership as we apply to air superiority today. We need to build a joint, smart space force and a space-smart joint force." According to Space News, the U.S. Air Force wants £6.1 billion for space programs in the 2019 budget, of which £4.2 billion would be pumped into research and development. Despite the billions of pounds being asked for, U.S. President Donald Trump seems undeterred when in May he said his administration is seriously thinking about creating a space force as part of efforts to develop the country's military.